Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, finally we're going to be starting the Power League guide content. So in today's video, we're going to be covering Heist and Hot Zone, and then tomorrow's video, if this video reaches 1.5k likes in 24 hours, I will be releasing the second part of the guide, which contains Brawl, gem grab and bounties. So 5 modes to cover, 3 maps in each mode, all the details and the best picks and bans and whatever else you need. So it's took me a lot of time to make this, so I appreciate you guys' support on this. So before we go into today's video, make sure you're using the creator code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated, and without further ado, let's jump into the guide. Alright guys, so starting off the Power League guide with the game mode Heist, starting off with the map Hot Potato. So as you can see by the graphic on your screen, I've got the first pick and second pick. So what I mean by this graphic is if if your team yourself have that second pick, then you want to be banning Grom, because obviously you can't get Grom as a first pick. Grom is like the best brawler on this map and probably in the game, so you want to be banning Grom if you don't have first pick. And then obviously if you have that first pick yourself, don't waste a ban on Grom. You may as well ban another good brawler, basically not the second best brawler, but maybe another brawler that you don't want to face off against. So I've just put Rico there. That's probably not like the complete best example, but it's again up to you what you don't really want to face off against. So the other good brawlers on Hot Potato, you have quite a lot here. Honestly, the speed gear makes this map so fast, especially with the amount of tanks. So normally how Hot Potato is played is that normally like one team gets Daryl, then the enemy team will pick another tank as well. So that can either be the likes of Buzz or Bull. So don't be afraid if the enemy team gets that Daryl, just pick that Bull or Buzz in retaliation. That can be a really good pick. You got the likes of Ems in mid with that speed gear, is absolutely insane. I'd probably say is the best second pick in my opinion, just because that speed gear, just able to counter tanks and just able to push up so quickly with that speed gear. Stu can be really good with the wall break gadget. He can basically be really good against tanks and just be good overall breaking up the map. Spike as well can be good lane or in mid with that gadget. Bella as well can be a good option to use as well. Lola can be a decent counter to Ems if your enemy gets that Ems, and just overall okay against tanks and or Riot Scout in that middle. Edgar can be a good last pick, the same with Barley as well. You don't want to be picking these brawlers at the beginning because they can be easily countered, but for example, if an enemy has like a complete control comp, then you can pick the likes of Barley. And then for example, like with Edgar as well, if an enemy picks like a thrower and then maybe another squishy brawler like Rico, then that Edgar can be a really solid last pick. Alright guys, so next up we have pit stops. So as you can see on the screen again, Grom is going to be the best pick on this map. But again, what I mean by the second pick is if you have that second pick, you want to be banning Grom because you don't want the enemy team to get Grom. He's just way too strong. So obviously the best brawler being Grom. Then again, I just use Rico as an example. He's a really strong brawler on pit stop as well, but it just depends what you don't want to be facing off against, or maybe what you're not too good at using yourself. So again, the same type of brawlers as Hot Potato. Again, you want really like one aggressive brawler, so the likes of Daryl and Bull can be really strong. Buzz as well. Basically, if the enemy team gets that Daryl, then you can easily use that Bull as like a last pick, because basically again you want to be using that one aggro brawler. Bull can be really good at opening up those walls. Stu again really good at opening up all the walls, and just basically a really good kind of middle brawler, good at attacking, good at defending. Just one of those brawlers that's really hard to kill. Spike again, just absolutely insane in Power League right now. One of those brawlers where you can basically go all of the time and you can't really get countered too much. M's going to be really good at a solid brawler, especially if the enemy team is liking those tanky options. The tanks can be so strong on this map because there's just so many walls to break through. Again, the likes of Barley and Tara, more of the brawlers that you want to be picking as like a counter pick. So Tara can be good again if there's multiple brawlers that you can counter with your pets, or just tanks can be a decent option. Barley again, not really one of those brawlers that you want to be picking towards the beginning stages, but normally towards the end, because he can get countered by aggro a little bit too easily. But for squishier brawlers, he's a solid option and can completely dominate, especially if you're able to pop off and get on that safe. And then I'll just put the likes of Primo and BB. There are a few other options you can pick as well, but overall pit stop is a really solid map, and these are going to be the best picks. Alright guys, so moving on to the final Heist map, we have Safe Zone. So Safe Zone, a really nice map where the long range brawlers are going to thrive. So again, Grom is going to be the best pick on this map. So if you don't have first pick yourself, then you want to be banning that brawler. Just get Grom out of there. He's just so insane. He's able to like 1v3 the enemies. He's just so strong on here. And again, I'm not too sure what you can really ban as a second pick. Well, if you have that second pick, because again, you don't want to really remove a second best brawler, so it can kind of just ban what you really don't want to face off against. So I just put Spike there because Spike is a decent option, but there's a load of good brawlers to go on this map. So normally you like to have one rule break. I actually only put one rule breaker in here. So Colt, I don't really rate Brock whatsoever because he can just get pushed back so easily, so I went with a Colt. If you can't get a Colt, then there's other good options you can go as well down the lane. So Colt going to be really good with that wall break gadget. Byron's just going to be absolutely insane whether you have him as a mid or a lane. He's one of the brawlers that you want to be picking first just because of how strong he is in this meta. He's absolutely insane. Rico going to be really good, especially if paired with Colt or another wall breaker, because he can easily defend a lane and then push up down the right hand side as well with his gadget, keeping him alive. Bell, just a really solid option, can play in the middle or the lane, and one of those brawlers that you want to be picking towards the beginning stages because she can easily pop off, and especially if you get control of the middle, placing those gadgets down, it's going to be really hard for the enemy to push up. Daryl going to be absolutely insane on this map, basically really good everywhere, but Daryl's going to be really good paired with Byron as well, and just can be really good for pressure, especially down the right hand side, trying to just annoy the enemy, basically forcing the enemy to pinch you out. It's going to waste a lot of time and allowing your teammates to push up. So other good brawlers as well. Stu with the speed gadget, going to be insane for your mid brawler. Stu just basically everywhere in the meta, even after his nerf, he's so strong. Meg, again, even after the nerf, going to be so strong. Once she gets that first mech, she's just able to cycle so easily, get so much pressure on the map, and as long as you're getting a lot of survivability out of that mech and you're pressuring the enemies back, you're going to be doing a fantastic job. It's going to be so hard to take you down as a Meg. A few other off picks as well. Piper I put towards the end. Normally I don't want to pick Piper towards the beginning because there can be brawlers like Daryl, like Stu, like Meg that can just cause so much pressure for a Piper if you're not hitting every single shot, so it can be quite risky to choose Piper. I would normally choose her towards the end as a counter to like brawlers like Colt, Byron, Bell, Rico can be really good against them, so keep that in mind. And then Colette as well, if the enemy is liking tanks, so the likes of Daryl, Colette can be a really good option, especially just going down that lane. You can get some decent damage with Colette. Alright guys, so going into the next game mode, we have Hot Zone, starting off with Dueling Beetles. So again, Grom is going to be the best brawler, so if you don't have first pick, you want to be banning Grom straight away. He's just so strong, especially with his gadget being able to scout the bushes, just being able to throw over walls. He's got insane range. You could basically 1v3 on this map as well. He's just so strong. That super as well, completely broken. Grom, insane. And then the second best pick is probably going to be Meg. So again, you probably don't want to be banning Meg unless you haven't got a high level Meg yourself on a team, or if you just don't like facing her at all or can't use her. Obviously it's up to you what you kind of pick as that ban if you've got that first pick, because the enemy team's going to be looking to ban Grom. So again, it's just up to you what you don't want to face against. So other good brawlers on this map, the likes of Spike is going to be absolutely insane. It's so hard to push an enemy Spike with those gadgets, with curveball and the super blocking off an entire lane. Spike is just going to dominate on this map, and it counters some really good picks. The sharpshooters, the Stews, the Megs, the Leons. He's just a really good counter to a lot of meta picks right now. So Byron are going to be so strong as well. He can basically be paired with everyone, and with the addition of gears, he's just been even stronger. Easily one of the best brawlers in the meta right now. He's basically running wild in scrims right now. He must have near enough a 100% pick rate in scrims, near enough on every single mode because of how strong he is. Bell as well, absolutely insane. Basically, it's either Bell or Byron. You've got to make sure you've got one of them. If you give the enemy team both of those brawlers, is near enough game over because of how strong they are. Stu going to be insane with the speed gadget, especially allowing your mid to be more agile, being able so they can hit more shots, dodge more shots. Leon going to be really good with his gadget, the lollipop drop, putting that near the bushes so your mid can get a lot of value and you yourself can get value. Poco going to be really good with Screeching solo. He can basically get 3 people with 1 super, and it's kind of hard to actually push a Poco because you're feeding them in super and then Screeching solo is going to finish you off. So really good combination. Crow can be surprisingly a good mid or a lane because of his slows. Crow right now in the meta is so strong, one of the best brawlers in the game right now because of his counter to the speed gear and just being able to work with your teammates once they're slowed. You should be able to get them down and then get some control. Daryl also a good kind of last pick because he can push up to the wall. Same with Sprout, can be a risky last pick, but if you're a good Sprout, you can cycle walls really well and just block off an entire lane, and B can be a decent counter. Alright guys, so going into the next map, we have Ring of Fire. So again, Grom is going to be easily the best brawler, so if you don't have that first pick, make sure you're banning him straight away. So again, if you've got that first pick, likely the enemy team is going to be banning Grom, so you've got to decide what you want to ban yourself. It's up to you. There's some really strong brawlers on this map, the likes of Meg, Spike, Byron, Leon, and Bell, Stu. Literally all of these brawlers are bannable, so it's up to you what you don't want to face against. You can keep switching it up and see what you like, but in my opinion, the likes of Byron is just going to be so strong, being able to heal up your teammates so they're able to push onto that middle. And honestly, one thing about Ring of Fire that a lot of people get wrong with this map is that they just try and split off into 3 lanes. In my opinion, it's just so vital to concentrate on the middle much more. So if I were you, I'd probably send like 2 people in the middle and just 1 off on the lane, just trying to create pressure. But as I said, most people, most of the time you want to be spending focus on that middle, because obviously you want to be getting that percentage, and as long as you're ticking away and not getting spawn trapped yourself, you should be having a good time on Ring of Fire. So some other good picks as well. Crow is so strong with his slows, and then once he gets his jump, basically what you want to be doing is trying to pick the weakest target. So for example, if the enemy has like a Bell or a Byron, if you have that Crow jump, it should be most of the time an easy kill, just to jump on them and create so much pressure and basically allow your teammates to push back up. Same with Tara. Tara can be paired so well with Byron, or just go down the lane, just her pressure. Basically it forces the enemy to just pinch her out near enough all the time, so it can be really strong. Surge, a really good pick, especially with the TP, being able to TP where you really want and just finish off people with 3 quick shots. Lola can be a decent last pick, as well as Rico. Alright guys, so jumping into the final map of the video, we have Split. So as you can see on this screen, Grom is still going to be the best brawler on this map. He's absolutely insane. So if you don't have that first pick, make sure you're banning Grom straight away. He's just so strong on this map. The next best brawlers for me are going to be the likes of Surge and Rico. So just depending on what you don't want to face up against, kind of dictate whether you want to ban that Rico or the Surge, and then you can just pick Surge or Rico. So Surge is going to be absolutely insane on this map because of his TPs. He's been one of the best brawlers on this map ever since it got introduced into competitive. He's just so strong at getting that left hand zone. Not really a lot of counters to him, except for the likes of Ruffs and Spike. So obviously if the enemy gets their hands on the Surge, you're going to be looking for Ruffs and Spike as a counter because of the gadgets being able to block those single shot targets. Going to be absolutely insane. So Spike, he's going to be a really good option down either lane, just depending on your matchup. Rico as well, going to be absolutely insane, just because there's not really a lot of space to work with in terms of the lanes, the really tight areas. So brawlers that can ricochet, the likes of Rico and Ruffs, they're easily able to shoot around the walls and get a lot of damage. Next up we have Stu. So Stu's going to be really good with his breakthrough gadget, because once he gets that super, he can just break through open in the middle and just create another gap. Especially if they're brawlers like Low, for example, you can easily pounce on them and get control of that zone. Next up we have Gale. So Gale's going to be really strong in the defensive lane. Not really a lot of brawlers that can push him, and especially if you have that gadget in that area in the right top corner, it's going to be hard for the enemies to get much percentage. Next up we have the likes of Frank and Daryl. They're just going to be really strong, especially because they've got so much HP. They're just able to get so much of a zone, especially if you're using Frank's second gadget. He can be so strong, being able to take out so many brawlers with that next attack. Barley can be a decent last pick, the likes of Barley and Sprout. They can be good last picks, especially if the enemy have those squishy brawlers. The throwers can be so strong, especially if you can take down those brawlers in a couple of shots. And then I just put Sandy there because Sandy can be decent overall. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. As I said in the intro, 1.5k likes and I will load the second part tomorrow. It's just took me so much time to prepare this, get all the graphics done, get the gameplay done. The commentary took a while as well to script up, and just everything about this guide has taken a long time. So I really appreciate you guys' support on this one. Also, I am starting to scrim a little bit more, so probably next week as well, I'll do an even more in-depth guide into Power League in terms of like what to pick if the enemy team picks this brawler, for example. I'll probably be looking to do that next week once I get even more better understanding of the draft system. Of course, I've played a lot of Power League and I've scrimmed a few times, but I mean, I could be getting a lot more information and just knowledge about draft in general. So hopefully in a week's time, I will have all that knowledge to share with you guys. So that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.